Okay, we're on. Welcome in, everybody. Let me put this on the comments.
Welcome,
And
everybody.
today we have our co host, Drew, and we have our guest, Sherry, and we have our special guest, Christina, which likes to give
Hi,
me a hard time
Debbie.
on
How
all my
are
Welcome,
you?
messages.
guys.
So, really, today we don't
Wait,
have
your
like
bloody tongue, lady.
topic. So we're just gonna talk. All of us are just gonna talk. Anything y'all want to ask questions? Anything? Anybody got anything coming up to say? Whatever. I think anybody in here right now knows everybody. So, hello, diabolical Debbie and
Hi, Iron. How are you?
Christopher. Oh, is Iron in there? I don't see it yet. Oh, there. It just popped up.
Yep.
Hey, Iron Sis. Alrighty, so if we're streaming, are we streaming on other than Facebook? Anybody? Cause no. Okay,
No,
No.
okay. So
I don't know how to do any of that, so don't ask me. I just
well,
came with
Chris.
my cute self, and that's it.
Oh, she hit a wrong button again. So Chris showed me how to do that, but I had already had yours and Stephanie's, I think, and Eli's already set up. So after that, then I can start going through Ghost Squad Scotland's. So we lost Drew. She's hit a button. Something happened to her. Christina, do you want to? Well, we'll start with Sherry because Sherry's our guest and you're a special guest. So we'll start with Sherry. Would you like to tell anybody? Tell anybody. You want to tell about yourself?
Hello, I'm Sherry. I am from PWI Spiritual Investigators, known as Paranormal World Investigators. I am an investigator of all things strange and unknown. I am a witch and a practicing shaman, and I'm here with my sisters tonight to do this awesome show with them. And if you like strange women and women that like all the mystical stuff, then I'm the lady for you. There you go.
All right.
Are we
You're
doing
Would
a
you like
welcome.
to?
dating thing? Like, did
I was
we
just going to
invite
say that.
men?
We like blind
Wait,
No,
dates.
I always think I like that.
well, I'm currently taken. I'm just coming to help the
So am
sisters
I.
find
Definitely not a dating thing.
some lovely men.
It's not dating, it's just my thing. If you like strange women and you like our channels, come over to us. I should really say that, you know what I mean? No, and it sounds a bit
Yeah.
better, but there you go.
Yeah, the channel's for you, not the lady for you. It's a
Sherry, you
channel
know
for you
Christina's
guys.
going to
Okay?
put you in a spot. Yeah.
Oh, I'm just me. People take me
Yeah.
out as I am. That's just me.
We
Mystical's
know
used
what
to
you
it. I
mean.
bother her. If something, I have a pet peeve on something on her video, I just start going off on every little.
I've never hit
You
so
can tell
many
Christina's from New
LOLs in
York,
my whole
guys.
life. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what. And I have a really good friend from New York, so I'm kind of used to it. So, all right. So, Drew, you want to tell us about yourself, and then we'll jump to Christina.
Yeah, most of you know me, guys, but for the people coming in that don't, I am Drew from Drew's Abandoned Paranormal Vlog. I also do stream with Chris and Alan from Ghost Squad Scotland, and you can find us basically doing paranormal, witchcraft, anything spiritual, really. But check us out on Ghost Squad Scotland as well, guys. Andrew's Abandoned Paranormal, and you'll probably find something you like. That's all I can say.
All
We do a
right.
lot of
So,
things.
Christina.
Um, what to say about me, guys? I am just a crazy lady from New York. My channel has everything from cooking, paranormal, to crafting, to just whatever I feel like doing that day. I make cartoons about visions that I have, and I do haunted history on places I wish I could go, but will probably never get to. So, yeah, that's what my channel's about, a whole bunch of stuff. And yeah, my
You
channel's
definitely
down
find
there,
something you
Christina and
like.
Son Ghost Squad.
Yes,
If you do not have,
then I'll
All
get it.
righty. So, me.
I think
Now,
you're right.
I kind of do a little bit of everything also. Now, I have on the, I think it's the 23rd, we're going to start our paranormal investigations again. So I've already gotten with my team. Two of them will be able to make it, two of them won't, but that's okay because we can do it with three people easy. Because I got a lot of tripods and stuff. I can set up my other stuff on it. We're going to go back to the very haunted Sensabaugh Tunnel, and that's where we
Ooh.
caught the spirits and the one that was kicking me, and we caught on the SLS camera. We also caught some disembodied. We caught it was a lady crying. You could hear her weeping. Also a baby crying. And so we're gonna do that. That's gonna be on a Sunday, not this Sunday. I think the following Sunday is when we're getting it set up. I got a magical garden going. I do
Good.
paintings, make magical spiritual lip glosses, just a little bit of everything. I do all my work-ins. I forge for majority of all of my stuff, like 90%. Sometimes I say 90, 95. It just depends on what I forged lately. And so, yeah, that's kind of me, just all over the place. And the reason we're doing lives is because my friend Drew talked me into doing lives. And so I always give her a hard time. I tell her, don't be late because I will not go live without you.
More fault,
now,
guys.
Chris, yeah, Christina, you're starting up your paranormal again too, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I'm starting to go live again. I've always stuck in some paranormal, but recently I've really just been doing crossovers. I don't even have time for investigations. I don't have to go out to investigate because they just come to my. I go to the supermarket, there's 5,000 to follow me. I go, to so it's really difficult to go out and do an investigation, on some place that's haunted in Queens because I crossed over 20,000 spirits last night just between my house and Kim and PA. So it's really hard for me to go investigate here because there ain't no freaking ghosts left.
Yeah, you've
That's
crossed
But
them all.
um, that's why I do the haunted histories on Sunday. So there you
There is a
that is
lot on
so
Christina's channel,
interesting.
guys. There's loads for everybody. Your new series as well. Well, it's not a new series. You've actually had the series on before, haven't you? Where it's a story.
Yeah,
I
this
was
is
watching it the
this
other
is
day.
the
It's really
second
good.
season. Like I stopped for a little bit because I had so much going on. So I stopped for a little bit, and now this is the second season. So
Right.
so I that it's called. It's in a playlist called Saving the World Saturdays. It is a cartoon because I can't afford to pay actors. Um, so I made it a
We can be
and
your actors. You don't have to pay
Brilliant.
us.
yeah, um, yeah, 20,000 words, yeah.
I'm still
Um,
waiting to come out in your visions.
Yeah.
well, these visions are actually the visions I had when I had my spiritual awakening, and it was in 2020. So I didn't know you yet.
Wow.
Sherry was in the vision. I knew Drew, but I guess we weren't too in tune, So it was
Yeah.
basically who I was um in tune with when I was going through that spiritual awakening and what they showed. And so I'm putting that into a cartoon form so you guys can see like what they showed me during the spiritual battle. Maybe it will resonate with somebody. Maybe someone had the same kind of vision, or they have some questions about things that it might answer. I don't know. Spirits always tell me keep educating, so I'm like, okay. And they thought it was a good idea to start that, so now I'm going to finish it.
Well, that's cool. Now, for everybody that where diabolical Debbie says 20K spirits question mark. Yes, she does
Yeah.
a
So what
lot of them.
happened
And
was I got off Drew. I got off with Sister Sherry last night, and I was like, oh, like exhausted, right? And Kim Kim M. Sister Kim messaged me on Messenger and goes, if you
Hey,
want,
Phoenix.
I can sit with you while you do your crossing and give you some energy. I have crystals and all this stuff. And so I asked Sarah and Billy, I go, you want Sister Kim to join and help with some energy for these almost 11,000 spirits? And they were like, yeah. So I was like, great. So I told her, all right, I'm going to get with you. Let me just feed them and play their music, listen to them a little bit, and then, uh, I'll get you on Messenger. So I get her on Messenger, doing the crossover, and I'm thinking to myself, it's long, but, and then I hear him say, okay, we're done. And I'm like, okay, you guys are done? I'm like, okay. I'm like, that was long. Did we get some from, because now I'm used to 11,000. Come on. So I was like,
Yeah.
this was long. What was going on? I felt like it was just and I was like, did some spirits come from Kim's house? And she's like, well, I did have 15. So I'm like, oh, 15? And they're like, so by the time we got done, I'm like, oh, it was 20,000 spirits? And they're like, yeah. I was like, oh.
15,000.
Yeah, that's so fascinating. And so everybody watching, Christina she's been having so many come to her that she's kind of recruited some of us that is in the group with her. That
Hi, Eli.
actually Drew started, but so we've offered to help her. So we'll be doing also crossings over. Because Sherry did hers the other day, Drew's done hers. I haven't done mine yet. I
Yeah,
had
I've done some. Yeah, across some
an
over as
awkward
well.
situation that I have to do mine off of my property, and so she's kind of recruited all of us to, she's asked for help. We volunteered and said yes, we will help. So we are trying to take some load off of her, even though I haven't done it just yet. And I've done crossing over when I do investigations and stuff, but that's just whatever spirits are there, not in the thousands or hundreds. So we'll be taking some. Well, they've already started, but with all of us, and with Phoenix and stuff, taking some load off of her where she's not so drained and using up so much of her energy. Hey, Eli.
Yeah.
Right.
So
And not only that, spirits from Texas don't know about me. So they're looking to cross over. I'm not looking for the spirits to go to Texas and be like, hey, Christina over there in New York, she does it. No, I want them to say, hey, Mystical down the road who lives near the Devil's Nose, she does it. Go to her,
Well, see,
So maybe you could get Texas and Indiana going, because
well,
you
see,
know.
I'm actually in Tennessee. Yeah, I'm in Tennessee, but I was
Tennessee.
born in Texas. But see, I was born in Texas. You keep referring to Texas, but it's weird because I was born in Texas. I was kind of raised in both places between there and here because my mom was from there, my dad is from here, so we went both. So yeah, that's fine. I can pick them up from there too because I was born in
That's
Texas.
right.
So yeah, so when you keep referring to Texas, I'm like, I'm in Tennessee, girl.
I don't know why that I look at it and I'm like, she's in Texas.
But see, I was born in Texas.
I actually think it's because I always somehow Eddie and Jen always post right before you do. So I watch Eddie and Jen, the vlogs, and then some. And they're in Texas, and they showed me all of Texas, and then I clicked on you, and you're driving through the countryside, and I'm like, oh yeah, Texas.
Yeah, one of the other viewers said, Texas, I thought you were in Tennessee. I said, I am. I keep telling her that, but she ain't listening to me.
Maybe you're supposed to move back to Texas. Who knows?
So, Sherry, if y'all have not watched hers, anybody coming in later on, she did her crossing over just a couple days ago. You need to go back and watch that. Have plenty of time to watch because she's on there for a good while because she crossed over, what was it, 5,000, Sherry?
5,000 spirits, and I've been doing crossing since I was 16 years old. So this was I just said to Christine, I can do it, so I can help you. And I'm not really bothered about what spirits come to me. I've got Texas links because my partner lives in Texas. I've actually been out and spoke to spirits in Texas, so I know that maybe if some of them wanted to go that way, they would come here anyway. So yeah.
Yeah.
But
Zach wants to
like I
come and
said,
say
I
hello.
think that most spirits in different states, they wouldn't hear about
Say hello
you
to
unless
everybody.
like a relative crossed over
Yeah.
and knows me from New
Yeah.
York. You know, like how would they know me? You know, like out
Yeah.
of New York. You know, so the goal is to teach people all over Canada and UK and Scotland and Tennessee
Right.
slash Texas. You know, so that
TNT.
the spirits, you know, the traveling, you know, to where they have to go and how the word of mouth will be, it will be easier, you know.
Welcome,
So,
Paradox. Yeah.
hey, Paradox, how are you?
Oh, come
Because
on.
some spirits, they don't even know that they're dead. They don't know where they are. You know, they're confused. They don't, you know, especially if things had happened suddenly. They don't even know like what they're supposed to do or how they're supposed to cross or whatever. I know like when I do like paranormal investigation, sometimes I'll refer to the light, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just tell them to follow me out. Because there are so many from all over the world. They all are different religions. They all have their different beliefs. And I think your way, Christina, when you say you open the gate, I think I'm going to incorporate that into mine because a lot of times I feel like when I would do investigations that, you know how sometimes they don't know whether to trust you or not, you know, if you're a different religion. And I want them all to feel comfortable. I think Sherry was including that in hers, you know, the different aspects so that they would be comfortable and follow her guides, you know, and stuff like that. So I like the gate part that you do on that.
Yeah, and it's because I do follow all three of them. I do like I do believe in God, but I believe in God in a different way. But I will not mock another religion. And then obviously I'm a witch and I'm a
Right.
shaman, so I enhance all of that. So I believe that is the main three religions really here, like that people really understand. And obviously all your
Mm-hmm.
Catholic and stuff like that, it all links into bit, the Christian way. Like you can just put like Mother Mary instead of saying God. Like
Right.
I've got all of those faiths anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Drew, do you have anything to add to anything that we've like
See,
talked about on
Christina
the
showed
crossing?
me the way to do it the other day. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. We can hear you.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
We can hear you. Can you hear
Yeah.
us?
The other day when Christina
Okay.
showed me the way she done it, I thought it was great. But when I done it myself, I actually incorporated it in my own prayers to do it. So
Yeah.
basically, I took the lead from the way Christina showed me how she done it, but I did it in a way that I always do. Like before I start any communication, I always welcome in all the elements. I always say, by the power of earth, by the force of fire, by the elation of air, and the vitality of water. So I kind of incorporated that in my prayers at the beginning. So I feel as if like each of us can do this, but as long as you're adding your own way to it, then it's going to work.
Oh, you can
Yeah.
add
Yeah.
whatever you makes you feel comfortable. I told you.
Yeah.
As long
Yeah.
as you make the
Yeah.
gatekeeper that's helping you, your spiritual guide there, make them, it works for them. Because if it doesn't work for them, they're not going to open the gate, you know? So
Yeah.
that's why I said just connect with him, connect with Billy, and keep connecting with him and see what works for the both of you, you know? I can show you how to do it, but you have to get your own way with your spirit guide. This is the way I do it with my spirit. And probably because we're from New York and we're different kinds of people, that's why we do it a different kind
Sorry,
of
it's
way.
coming going fine.
But
Thanks.
we so everybody's gonna
Hello.
have
Hello.
a different way, and no way is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you help those spirits and
Yeah.
you open the gate correctly and close correctly,
It's funny though as well
That's
because as soon as
it.
I turned the box on, Billy was right there. He knew what he was going to do. Like I'd been talking to him through the spirit talker, like you told me, and then straight away when I turned on the box, he was right there. So it was amazing.
Yeah.
You
I'm
see,
going to be
I
quiet
like
because I can
saying
hardly
for
hear.
I like using the north, south, east, and west also. That way, it's all a directional thing. You know, bringing it in from every direction. Also,
Yeah.
there's a question, or can you read? Or do you have your chat up, Christina? Because I'd like for
Yeah.
you to answer. Okay, I got it up here on the thing.
Iron's question: if someone
Yeah.
had really been like, say, a Buddhist, would they contact the Buddhist Buddha? Okay, so I've crossed over people who were of Indian faith, of Spanish faith. Now, I'm Greek, but I don't technically believe in the exact, you know, spiritual stuff everybody else. I have my own spiritual belief, even though I'm Christian. But I've crossed over Indian people. I mean, because this is the melting pot here in New York, right? I've crossed over all sorts of religions, and they don't mind, I guess, because I don't incorporate like all these prayers or tell them about God or anything like this. I'm like, listen, I can send you to the other side. I don't know what's gonna happen. And you, you can stay here or
Right.
you can go. I don't know. So New York is a little different. New Yorkers are very like let's go, let's do this kind of people. Um,
Right.
the older spirits, they've told me like I'm unholy. The Bible thinks that I'm holy and all this because I talk to spirits. Meanwhile, they're talking to me, and I'm like, okay. Um,
Yeah.
she still crossed over.
Hey, Kim.
They might they
Right.
might tell you something, but
Right.
in the end, they usually end up going because they're like, oh,
Right.
maybe I won't get another chance. Like,
Well, because you're
I
just
this
down
woman
to the
is
nitty
helping,
gritty. Yeah.
regardless,
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I guess,
So
even to say all religions are welcome. It's love and light. The gate is open for love and light, and it's open for you to pass through to find your loved ones. Like Sherry said, follow the guides, follow through, and you'll be protected and taken care of. Now, okay, so then that almost throws in. Well, what about like the murderers and all of these that also's going through, because like you said, Christina, you don't know what's going to happen to them. We will be getting them through the gate, and then from there, that's a whole different spiritual
okay,
realm to take
so
care of the situation from there.
I'm going to tell you. I don't know if Sherry feels this. I know I cannot. I I'm not sure if other people will be. I know I do not have the power to open the gate to hell. Okay, they go
Hmm.
into purgatory, and purgatory filters them. Basically,
Right.
we're not.
Right.
I'm not. So I know where they're going. They're going to purgatory. Sometimes, like occasionally, when I had only little kids under a certain age that I did a crossing of, that was they were able to go right. They didn't go to purgatory. They went to heaven. But um, but mostly when I have mixed groups, they all filter. It all goes to purgatory. I cannot open a gate to hell,
Right.
you
To
know,
be
Well,
and I
honest,
don't,
a lot
and I don't want to, never. So,
Yeah.
to
you know,
be honest, it doesn't matter how advanced you are. Like going into the plains of hell is not something that any of us are going to be doing. Like if you're in a religion where you believe in the devil and you do things with the devil, then yeah, fair enough. But people like us, we don't follow the devil in that way. We're not into the devil and things like that. So none of us can physically go into the hell plane. We can get visions, we can get things from there because we are spiritual. But going in there and opening the gate to hell does not happen. You open the
right,
gate to the land that they're going to. Now that will incorporate whether they go to heaven, they go to purgatory, or they go to hell. Because obviously children and things will go to heaven, They don't have to go into purgatory because of what they are. Then you've got people that don't need to be in purgatory because of the badness they've done. They go straight to hell. And then you've got the people in purgatory, which are the ones that are finding their self
Right.
and, you know, trying to come
So,
to terms
so
with what's
once they
going on. Then
go
they go
into
off. You know what I
right.
mean? That's how it works.
So you know, I
Yeah.
tell them, yeah, you're gonna go to
Yeah.
purgatory. What purgatory decides to do with you, I have no idea. It's out of my hands, you know.
Yeah.
So they're
I don't
comfortable
say that I don't
because they
say don't go.
understand the whole thing. They understand they have to prove themselves, the
Yeah,
murderers and
I
stuff.
don't say that they're going to purgatory. I just say that you're going to the other side because a lot of them know from when I sit down and speak to them. I say, look, you know, some of you know you've done wrong. Some of you know that you've done good. You know that some of you have got fake places to face and things that you've got to own up to. You know that, but you do know that going over there is the better place to go to. Whether you've done right or wrong or not, you can put yourself right. And most of the time they will go because they know they
So
need
do
to
you,
put
you
right,
know
you know.
Oh yeah.
a long time ago on my playlist I did a video about what happens after death, and pretty much it's like y'all are even saying right there, because I did it as, well, from the way that I see it, it's like it's a spider web, and they all go, and I call it a waiting room. It's a dimensional area. I say it's a dimensional waiting room, and from there where they get filtered, then it spiders off to where they go from there.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
Oh
what
yeah,
I call
there's
it,
a
a
lot of
waiting room.
areas. There is a lot of
Right.
areas in the purgatory. There's a lot of areas in heaven, and there's a lot of areas in hell.
Hmm.
And all spirits
Yeah.
will go to different levels depending on what they've done or what they're going through.
Hello,
They
Chris.
have different sections that they go to. You know what I mean? They'll come
Hey,
into the
Chris.
gate. They go, okay, you need to go
Right.
to purgatory. And they'll have different sections they go to be helped, and then you've got the same for hell. You've got the same for heaven. Some are going to go there and they're going to be coming back to earth. Some are going to go and get jobs in heaven, so become guides of people, like Sister Drew, for instance. Her relative Billy is working with her with the kids. He's got his comeuppance
Hmm.
in heaven. He's got his calling. Do you know what I mean? But they've all got
Hmm.
different sections and things that they've got to be doing in all of
Right.
these
It's just
areas. You know what I mean?
right. So see, like me, instead of calling it purgatory, I call it waiting room and the spiritual
Yeah, I call it
realm.
the in
Right.
between. I call it the in between because it's in between both. That's what I call
Yeah.
it. It's much more nice sounding as
Right.
well.
So who wants to
Right.
The in
answer
But
now
between.
but
y'all
that was
little Debbie's
to answer
question?
your question. You know about the murderers. They know they're gonna. They know. They know you don't open the gate to hell. They know you're letting them into the waiting room. So,
Yeah.
and they know they're gonna take their, you know, what's gonna happen to them, and they have to deal with it there. They're, they're
Hmm.
Yeah,
they're just here. Nothing's happened. So they rather go there. You know. So that part, they know. I don't even have to explain it. They know. You
Yeah.
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't have to say anything to him like you're going to hell, you're going to heaven. I just, you know, they know. They know
At the
what's
end
going to
of the day,
happen.
it's up
That's
to
how they want to go.
them.
So, you know,
It's up to them what they do once you
it
give
is.
them the information that the doors are open for them, you
Yeah.
know. And they
Okay,
probably know that
paradox.
you're not the judge. They know what they're going
Yeah.
over to. They know they're going to be judged once they get there. That's why they're probably a bit hesitant.
Mhm. Yeah.
Hmm.
And once we cross them over, then our job is done on that part.
Yeah.
That's just to cross them over, but I'll
And
be
you
able to
explain
help you
to them as
this
It's
so
well
that
that
you
they
in
can
you
come
between.
know.
No,
back.
they're in between.
A lot of them will be
Double
scared
decker
because
bus that
because
picks
they
up
can't come
spirits.
back over. So I
Listen,
think
Iron, can you send that bus over to me, and then they can just get on it, and
get
then
on
have
it.
have someone. Where's the double decker bus to,
And you'll
to
actually,
have?
you'll
It's
actually be
rewarding.
you'll be surprised how many of the bad ones come to you saying, can you please send me over and can you help me? And that a lot of these people that have done really bad things do come to you because what you've got to remember is when you're here in this land and you're in spirit, you know, maybe some of us have had really pleasant lives, so they don't really have anything horrible happening while they're here. So they stay with their family, they watch their family do whatever. but you've got spirits that have been murdered, you've got spirits that have gone through lots of different things, and they're going to relive that moment. So as long as they're here, they're always going to have that fear of what happened to them. They're going to be living with that. Some of them even play that over and over again. So you could imagine what their heads are like. And like when somebody said the other day, so do you get spirits come to you in all sorts of behavior ways, and do they act out, do they get upset? Of course they do, because they're some of them are so screwed in the head because they've seen so much happen and they've not been able to escape it. Of course some of them are really upset, and
Some with traumatic deaths.
Yeah, I mean, I had a whole group that was, poor thing, under the age of 15, all, it was 8 of them. All 8 of them were under the age of 15, and they were sacrificed, basically, by devil worship. And
God.
they don't get over that easy. And this was late 1800s this happened, and they were still upset. They didn't want to cross over until somebody knew about it, you know, until I knew the whole story, till I understood it.
And see, well, my situation, I have to do it for anybody in the chat. Mine's like totally different because I have so much protection over my entire property that I have to do crossovers off my property to allow the others to come in, because mine are just not like spirits. Mine are like trying to get to me. They're like creatures and
Yes.
like all those kind, okay? All those kind. Yeah, look at Drew's face. She tells it all.
A big, what was it, a praying mantis and its baby, the size of the house.
Yeah, so I have to make sure that if I open up anything that will allow the spirits to come in so that I can cross them over, I have to do it off of my property, and that way I can control the area that I'm in there and not affect anything pertaining to all of my prayers that I've got on my property. So they'll be, because they would be like, oh, there's our chance,
Right, yeah.
and they're not gonna get that chance. No, it's just too many creatures that try to come through.
Dangerous.
No,
Yeah.
that would be too risky doing that on your place.
Yeah.
So, Christina, would you like to tell us how you actually got started, what your you don't have to tell us what your awakening was, but would you like to talk about it? I've never heard your story.
My mother passed away suddenly. Like, she was the healthiest person ever. She was never at the doctor. She never had a cold. And all of a sudden, she it was New Year's. And I was like, Mom, what's wrong with your stomach? She's like, no, I don't know. It's like hard. Like, I'm pregnant. It feels weird. Because I don't know. Just one day, I felt like a little twist. And then, like, this bump. And now it's like getting bigger. I'm like, well, you have to go to the doctor, And somehow I thought it was like a cyst because of her age, when the woman changes. I thought it was a cyst. But she went to the doctor and they told her it was cancer. So they cut her open, took it out, and they, did the test to make sure she didn't have any more. But I think when they cut you open, it just like spread. So they cut it open, they took it out, they said, oh, it was only stage 1. And then they did a test like a few weeks later, and she was just riddled all over her body. And they were like, what the hell? And so it went from, New Year's when when we first told her, now go to the doctor. So it was, beginning January. And by the next year, January 12th, she passed January. 1 year, literally, of just like the chemo wasn't working. It was growing during the chemo, which is like 1 in 2 million chance that what did he say? 1 in 2 billion chance that happens. It will either stay the same or it will go down. usually it doesn't grow triple the size, you know,
Yeah.
which is what was going on. So anyway, so she passed away, and then a year later, that her friend was so upset, like basically just going downhill. A year and like 3 weeks later, her best friend died.
Oh.
And the last words she said to her son was, "I'm going to be with my friend." So I kind of wanted to see if they were together.
Yeah.
So I started watching all this ghost stuff, and on the side, like I wasn't telling you, I started watching all this ghost stuff and everything to see if I could at least kind of try to communicate with them to see if they were together in heaven or what was going on, or you know, were they at peace at least, and all this. So had watched all these things and everything, and I was like, I'm never gonna find out, I guess, you know. And I kind of reserved myself for that. And then my son's school called. You have to come down to school. I went down to the school, and they're like, "Your son needs to go to a therapist." Doesn't matter. And they're like, he was talking to a bird that wasn't there. I'm
Right.
like, okay. So they basically wouldn't let him back in school until I went and I got him evaluated. So I got him evaluated. The therapist said, he's upset that you and his father broke up or whatever, normal kid stuff, that, you know, there's nothing wrong with him. Other than that, you could send him once a week to a therapist or the psychologist. And I'm like, okay, good. You know, I don't care. You know, he could go once a week to the psychologist. It's
Come
good,
back to school.
you know.
Yeah.
But the school made him feel so insecure about the whole thing that he said, "Ma, am I crazy? Because I hear things talking to me that isn't there. So obviously there's voices in my head. I'm crazy." And I'm like, "No, you're not crazy. It's ghosts." Because I was like, "No, I don't want the kid to think he's crazy, right?"
Oh,
So he's like, "Oh, there's no such thing as ghosts." And so I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Are you? Come on, we're gonna go." I went to the thrift store. I got a camera for him. And I go, "Come on, we're going to go ghost hunting. Then we're going to put it on YouTube so everybody could see. So other people don't think they're crazy, right?" So I said, "What are we going to call ourselves?" So he said, "You know, the Ghost Squad." And I said, "Okay, Christina and Son Ghost Squad it is, you know?"
brilliant.
And that's how we came up with our name.
Oh wow.
So our first little, like, we were just like kind of exploring like abandoned things. But for the first few little videos, like the house across the street and whatever. But then I'm like, no, we have to go someplace really haunted so you could see, you can understand, because he was still, you know, I don't think I'm seeing ghosts or whatever. So, because an animal spirits is very rare
Yes.
you know,
Yep.
it takes a special kind of spiritual person to see that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, come on, let's go. We're gonna go to this really, really haunted place. I don't know what I was thinking. And I take him to the kid to the most haunted place in all of Long Island, you know. And I take him to the most haunted place. I give him a camera. I have a camera. We walk through it. We don't even get 5 minutes into the video. You hear Indians chanting. You hear drums, weird animals like wolves and stuff. And you know, we're in a little place island. So this kid captures. I mean, I heard disembodied voices for the first time, like a lot. Like I was like, holy crap, people are talking to me that isn't there, okay, in this place. And then so I was like intrigued now because I'm like, I came here for him, but I'm like, he talked to me. This woman said something. He's like, "Ma, I didn't hear anything," right? He was so like not having it. He was 10, by the way,
All right.
right?
Yeah, wow.
So anyway, you know, kids, when they're filming, I got him this camera from the thrift store. He put it on his lap, forgetting he was filming. I stopped filming. We were taking a little break. Rocks were being thrown at us, caught it on film. We walk down a little more. He goes to look at something in the dirt. Catches a little tiny guy
Oh,
with antlers.
Wow.
A little
Oh,
tiny
wow.
spirit, about this big,
yeah.
walking.
Yeah.
This is what he catches on his camera. I was like, holy cow! I'm like, oh my God, spirits exist and they're walking all over the place. I was like, hooked from that day. Like, oh, maybe I can talk to my mother, or maybe I can see these spirits. Oh, you know,
Yeah.
from that minute on, I was like, oh, okay. They're just walking around. Like, I thought, like, yeah, maybe there was a few. I didn't know there was a few billion, in my backyard. Like, it just was amazing.
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it, when you think about it?
So,
That is.
yeah.
So have you managed to communicate with your mum and our friend?
I've gone to my mother's grave twice to do EVPs. So the first one, I think her friend came through. Actually, by then her friend's husband had died too. So I think her friend's husband came through asking about the kids, Michael and Lauren. Said both their names, and and my mother said, "I love you," but they didn't really tell me anything
Right.
about what was going on.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, but they're all crossed over, thank goodness. So when you're spirits that are crossed, they don't come back as much, I guess, to talk to you
I know.
as spirits that are not crossed are the ones that are all talking on your spirit box.
Right. Well, yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah.
It's not as much people that are crossed unless they have a specific message. You're sad, they want to give you a message, they want to say I love you, whatever. They're not coming and spending their time down here because maybe, they have a job up in heaven to do or something else. They're not, they're not spending all their time down here. So I understand it. So I know, so.
Yeah. See, I definitely feel as if when you're out investigating, that's when your guides, such as my gran and things, is with us. So technically, we should be speaking to them as well when we're out, because it's probably the only time they come and see us. Like say, "Hi, Gran, I know you're around me."
Well, see, like my guides here, like when I do, because I have the protection up, but when I do like the oracle cards, and I ask my guide to connect to their guide, so my guide filters whether it's somebody that will come in or not.
Yeah.
So it's filtered through my guide. It's not me wondering what's going on, or if it's somebody I should contact with or whatever. So that's why I let my guide do that also.
Yeah. I think you've got to really use your guides when you're dealing with other side, especially me, where I can't see them or hear them. I think you've got to trust your guides.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you need your guides whether you can see them or not, to be honest, because there's a lot of the stuff that you can't just do on your own. Even if you can see and be connected, you do need them to be able to do it. So yeah.
Well, see, everybody is born with a guide or more guides. Technically I have 9 guides, but I mostly just work with 2 guides, and then my spirit animal is a dragon also. And so I mostly just work with them, even though my other ones are there too. So when I go places, then like I said before, when I refer to spirit, it's all of them wrapped up into one, because instead of wondering which one is helping and having to get names and all that, then I know it's all, that it's all wrapped up into one. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing mine off property in my van, which my van is already protected because I keep it bubbled. Me and Sherry was talking about it when we were in the back room before we came live. And so she said, yeah, that's a good idea to do it that way.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're getting back out investigating. Where are you going?
Yeah, we're going to be going to the Sensible Tunnel.
Oh.
And then also,
That'd be good, that will.
Yeah, and I'm almost wondering too if after we do that one, depending on the time and stuff, if anything comes through pertaining to Summer without me even mentioning her
Yeah.
name,
Yeah.
if anything comes up on that, then we'll also do a secondary investigation, since she had been there before and had visited there before.
I think
Part
her
of
name's
her
on the
spirit
wall.
will be there.
I
Yeah,
can't remember if
yeah.
it's her name that's on the wall or one of the
It's
brothers' names
her,
that's on the wall.
her,
Is it hers?
her.
Right.
Yeah, her brother, and I won't say the name since he's a minor, but her
Oh,
brother's name is on the wall. But in the
oh, there's a
event that,
picture of her. That's what it was. There was a picture of her standing outside the cave, the tunnel.
yeah,
That's what it was.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have that picture on my phone. I've had it on my phone ever since then. And
Right.
so, in the event that that does come up, we'll do a separate one pertaining to that. But if nothing comes up on it, then I won't follow up on it. I'm just gonna try to,
Right. See if she
play
goes
it by
through it.
ear. Yeah,
Yeah.
because at that point I would have to find out if it's her coming through or if it's her spirit, her guide that's coming through.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, because you can be alive and still communicate with their guide.
Yeah.
If she's allowing you, to. So that's gonna be kind of
Do you
up in
pick
the
up
air.
anything
So
about it? Do you pick up
um,
anything?
I actually did. I kind of use some of my devices, like standing off of my property, and a whole list of stuff came up. And I saved that list because a
Right.
lot of things, a lot of names that I'm not familiar with are starting to come up now. If you watch other live streams on it or any streams on it videos,
Yeah.
these names are starting to come up that was on that list because I keep referring back to it. And the
Mhm.
things that were brought up, things that were like that was said. Now, when she says
Yeah.
I'm in a box, is it her spirit, her guide that's talking, and
Yeah.
to get the information out, or is it her? Because she could be alive or not. We don't know. I didn't ask that
Yeah.
question because I was trying not to ask any leading questions. I was trying to just
Yeah.
wait to see what was coming up. It was dark. I was
She can
scared.
still be
I'm in a
alive then.
yeah, I'm in a box. So all the things that was being said could go either way. And I never
Yeah.
put the video out, because at this point in time, I didn't feel that it was the right time to put it out. But like I said, if anything comes up on its own, then I'll do a separate one
Yeah, if
on,
something
for
different
this.
comes up even. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be good to see if you do pick up anything. That's been 3 years.
Well, it's over 2 years now.
Yeah, 2, 3 years.
Her
That's
second year
yeah.
anniversary was just last month, I
Was it
think.
second? Yeah. I can't remember if it was the second or the third. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I believe it was.
is this somebody that's gone
The
missing?
little girl that's been missing in America for over 2 years.
Yeah, she
She
just
just
lives. She
disappeared.
lived. Yeah. Okay. So where I took the drive when we went to go grocery shopping, it was just
Yeah.
about maybe another 30, 40 minutes from there,
Oh
and
wow, were you
there
that
there's
close?
there's no well, the law hasn't said anyway that there's no suspects or anything. They don't know if she was picked up, if she was, they don't know anything. She was there on the property according to the parents, and then she wasn't there.
Yeah, then she just totally
So,
disappeared.
hmm
The smell of her
yeah,
end, right at the road end, there's nothing
but
for there.
so there's a lot on YouTube. If you just Google, where is Summer, or Summer Wells, or Summer Utah Wells, a lot of stuff will start coming up. There's a
I
lot of
followed it to
people
the
looking,
start.
and
That's that little.
yeah,
Is that little blonde girl?
Yeah,
yeah,
remember we
She's
tried to
really,
pick
really
up
pretty, really
something?
pretty little
Yeah,
thing, weren't she? Yeah, no, I know you want about. Yeah, when you
we
said
tried to
summer,
yeah.
pick something
I
up
was
a
like,
way
yeah.
back last year, but in fact it was 2 years ago we tried to see if anything would come through, but nothing.
Yeah, but I got a lot of stuff
That breaks
on
my heart.
my devices and stuff like that without me actually asking questions to put in there. And so much stuff was coming up, and I was like, I'm saving this list because there was like 30, 40 responses that
Yeah,
was coming
definitely.
through on it. I turned off,
Yeah.
I was outside. It was kind of late, and just right off of my property and was, you know, I had it going and stuff, but
But I
yeah,
do
we'll just
hope that
wait and
she's.
see.
I hope that she is still alive and that. But the longer it goes on, it does make you think,
Yeah, and the
because it has been
parents
a
are
while
not very
now, and there hasn't
forthcoming.
been anyone. There hasn't been anyone that have said that they've seen anyone that looks like her or anything like that. So to me, I'm not saying she is, but the likelihood of her being alive is probably very slim. You know what I mean?
Well,
But
you
you got to
hear
still have that
hear
hope because there hasn't been anything found. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
right. Well, in the States, they keep them for 18 years locked up in basements and stuff. So
I'm sure,
we
yeah.
don't know if she's locked up in somebody's basement. And obviously, she
Yeah.
tried to tell Mystical, and she wasn't listening. I'm
And,
joking.
and 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 Lee is familiar with that area, so it's a big like drug area that goes on there. A lot of stuff being said there, and so it could be anything really.
Yeah, it's a
mm,
crazy case. It's a
it
crazy
is a crazy,
case.
and she wasn't very old. It's not. She was very very small. So the
She was
likelihood if
Yeah.
five
they've done
years
anything to
five
her and
years
that her
old.
surviving is very slim.
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
5 years
So
old when she
yeah, she
disappeared.
was
So
yeah.
starting school, wasn't she?
So fully grown men doing things to a 5-year-old child. I'm sorry. In the end, that that little body probably give
Yeah,
up in the end. So
yeah.
yes.
not
So
saying
we're
she
just
is.
gonna when we go.
Pray to God.
I know.
Yeah, so when
I
we go to the
know.
Sensible Tunnel, it's going to be just like the second part of the first part. See, the first part, if you watch the video, my team is very raw at knowing what to do and how to film and, all of this stuff. It was more of an experience for them to try to learn how to run stuff. So there was a lot of kidding around in it and stuff like that. Even with that being said, you could still pick up a lot of the like disembodied voices and the
Yeah, you
crying
still
and
good
all of
video.
that. Yeah, and the first thing that came through on my device was mama, because a
Mm,
lady and her baby was supposed to have been killed right there. Okay.
in the tunnel.
And just recently, like not even, I don't know, not even maybe 3-4 months ago or something, somebody else was killed right there in that area. A guy, well, one of my team members knows the person, not really good, but knows of him. So it'll be interesting when we go back, because they'll be more serious, on knowing what to do and stuff. And it'll be more quiet, no kidding around and stuff like that, to see what we pick up at that time. Yeah, if you're hearing it, Drew, I'm hearing it also.
What is
And
it?
so Sherry, I don't know, but I can hear it. But
Hearing some. It's weird because it sounds in
Christina's
between like
pointing.
mumbled voices and like some sort like a scratch sort of scraping
Probably
sound.
It
Christina's spirit's
it
trying to come through.
no, I think it was a military craft that it was far away, but you could still hear it.
No, it sounds like voices.
Well, the
Yeah,
voices
I
might be
don't.
here, but the military craft went by when you were.
No, we didn't hear. That wasn't. No, yeah, that wasn't what we were referring to. It was
No, we
the
were hearing
the
voices.
chatting. It was the little
Yeah,
chatting.
I was seeing if
So
there was somebody outside, but
there is a lot of energies around though.
Mhm.
definitely,
They're,
especially when they
they're
come
laughing
across
in
the
the
bridge.
chat because I wrote when you were talking. My aunt, you know, the reason why they rented, my aunt and my grandmother decided to rent me this apartment was because they didn't want to go to Canada. Because I was like, oh, I'm not gonna go up to Canada with my boyfriend. And my aunt's like,
yeah,
you don't know him. You met him on the internet. I'm like,
Oh,
I've been
Uncle
talking to
Danny.
him for 2 years,
He's
more
not
than
got
That's
2 years,
a
but we've been talking as
that's what
boyfriend and
my
girlfriend for 2 years online.
that's what
Yeah.
my
But
I
nan was
wondered
like.
how.
no, he's gonna
That was what
kill
my nan
you.
was like.
He's gonna lock you up. You're never gonna be able to come back. He's gonna they're gonna use you as a sex slave. And I'm like, and I was like, oh
Uncle
That's
wait,
what
Danny,
I
Nan
have.
said.
come
So
on.
I said to her, oh wait, I have to pack. I'm
Get
out.
a train.
I'm the
It's
first
gonna
thing
come.
I'm doing is going to Canada if that's what the case is there. Okay?
Was that your nana
They were
saying that to you,
laughing because I was writing
Okay,
that.
okay, everybody, a disclaimer. Don't be sending us bad mail saying we're making fun. We're not. She's just talking about
No.
her situation because she has a
Yeah.
real joking,
Yeah. We
she's
just
just a
like to
joking person. So,
be
yeah, so
funny.
it's nothing, from like really what is going on. So,
They
Yeah, no,
just
know
a
it.
disclaimer.
my nan
They
done it to me.
they know that this was a joke, but my aunt is
Yeah.
so old
So,
school. That's how
yeah.
she feels. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
that's how she thinks anybody you meet on the internet is going to kill you because of the
my
horror.
nan
Yeah.
said the same
Because
thing.
there are
Sis.
scary stories.
My nan
Yeah.
said that to me about Rudy, because my Rudy
Yeah.
lives in Texas, and that's where I'm moving over to. She's going,
Oh,
oh, he could be
imagine.
a killer. He could do this to you. He could do that to you. You're a beautiful girl. You don't know if he's going to sell you on to other men. I'm like, Nan, what the hell are you going on about? Like I've been talking to him for 3 years. I've been with him for nearly 4 years now. You know what I mean? Like, and I've been over there and nothing's happened to me. He guided me with his life. He had to, you know what I mean? So, and she was all right now.
Yeah.
Rest her soul. She's just passed away a couple of weeks ago. But, she was exactly the
Making you
same. Like,
leave
oh, you
phone
can't go over
numbers,
there. You're going to get
directions from the airport to his
and she
house.
remembered it. Because what happened is she had a cousin that done the same thing. She had somebody that fell in love with somebody in America. Cousin fell in love with somebody in America, and she ended up getting killed. So she was
Right.
like, "Sherry, you
Ah.
sure?" I was like, "Look, I trust him. I've
Yeah,
spoken long enough."
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Well, that's
understandable.
true, Iron. It could happen, yeah, with somebody you meet in the street.
Exactly.
That's what I tell her all the time. Like, what's the
yeah,
difference? You
yeah.
got to take a chance sometime.
Well,
Obviously,
they
she
told me
died
that
Especially
anyway.
too
for
about.
Danny's the kindest person out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, they were telling me that too about Lee. He could be an axe murderer, blah blah blah, because he's like, he has a motorcycle. And I said, well, I have a motorcycle. I'm not an axe murderer. And they
Yeah.
were like, well, but you don't know him. And I'm like, he's my friend's brother. You think she would tell me if he was?
No, maybe she's in on it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a ring.
Maybe they're both going to
No,
murder you together.
no, it's
Your
really
parents and your
funny.
grandparents can be mad.
It's really funny because we went to see her yesterday because of Danny's reading for Lee, and he had her on his mind for a while. He's like, okay, that's what I needed to hear. Let's go. So we left before the live was even over. We left so he could go see her. And then I told him yesterday when we were at her house, I said, you don't. I told my husband, I said, you don't know, but when I first got together with you, your sister told me that she has a cave on her property. So if you gave us any trouble, you were gonna be thrown in that cave. He's like, what? I said, yeah, your sister told me that. I was just like, what? That was funny. She said, I still have that cave too on my property. She told me.
Oh, we're going in for some dirt. Cave dirt.
Yeah, hey, I didn't even think about it. If she's got a cave, I can go there for my next cave dirt.
Yeah, that's good
Yeah,
though that he listened though and got up and went
Oh, there
straight
you
away
go.
to go. Yeah. He probably made her day with going and seeing her.
Yeah, yeah, I did. I afterwards when we got back, I said, "Do you feel better?" And he said, "Yeah, that he feels better about it." And then actually later when we get off the stream, we're gonna go back and see her again because her boy has what do you call those that they fly up? You take
A
pictures.
drone.
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 Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he has a drone and it wasn't working right. It was messing up. Well, I had bought Lee the exact drone a while
Right.
back, and it stopped working, but we know why. But so he's going to let him have his for parts. Okay, I
Oh,
bought him that drone. Let me tell you this. I bought him that drone. He flew it straight up in the front, front of the house. He flew it straight way up, and he had his phone connected to it and everything, so that he could, see. And we were like waving and stuff. And then he got the idea of flying it, where, to look at, where, up in the, where.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, he flew it up, and as soon as it got level with it completely shut off. It died and crashed, and it
Oh,
it
I
hadn't
wouldn't
worked.
expect any less.
It hadn't worked since. So he's going to take it to his nephew and tell him he can use it for parts, because I think his motor, when his nephew's motor went out on his, so they can take the motor out of Lee's
Yeah.
and put it in it and use it for parts. So we're going to
Yeah.
go, again later too. But yeah, so he had the idea to do that and it didn't work. So his drone lasted like a whole day.
Oh, it just shows you, doesn't it, that it's just not going to let you go. No more. I'm saying no more.
Yeah. That's why I can't go
Only Lee would do that.
The thing is, you
Yeah.
get some great footage with drones as well. I see all the bigger YouTubers are using drones a lot
Yes.
on their
Yeah.
locations.
But they're
Yeah, and I
so,
tell
unless you get
Lee.
a super expensive one, Drew, like I got like 2 different ones from my son,
Right.
they're so hard to control.
Yeah.
A lot of that, like, and the picture quality's bad, so unless you're getting a really expensive one, it's not worth it.
Not worth it.
And if it's over 2 pounds, you have to get it registered. You can't just fly them. You can't just fly them any place. Because I was like, well, that'd be good. So when we go to like the cemeteries, all these places, we can get an aerial view of, like what Twin Paranormal does,
Yes,
and get
yes.
an aerial view. But yeah, if you get a good one, they're gonna weigh over 2 pounds, and you got to get them registered. And around here, people are fast to shoot it out of the air because they think you're trying to.
Probably because of what you
stuff.
see. Don't want to see the
Yeah.
property.
Yeah, yeah. So
William had his for one day as well, and they crashed it in the tree. It was up in that tree out there
I
for
wouldn't
about
even
3
attempt.
months, and it fell down.
I wouldn't. I don't think I would ever want to try and fly a drone because I know I wouldn't be able to. It'd be well. I think
Yeah, I
mine would
don't
get
think
smashed
so.
up within a minute. Wouldn't even be a day.
Oh,
It'd be
they-
probably about not even an hour. It'd be gone.
Bye, Debbie says.
Bye,
Much love to
Debbie.
you.
Hi, Deborah. Guys, remember, check out Diabolical Debbie's channel. She's got great stories on there.
Mm-hmm. And Meg too. When Meg comes in,
Yeah,
yeah,
Meg.
has
Yeah, she's got a
Meg
good
has
channel.
good stories on
I've
hers
not
also.
seen Meg for a while. Hope Meg's okay. Has anybody seen Meg's
Yeah.
mystery?
Yeah,
No. Well,
You seen her?
I couldn't.
Yeah.
I saw her actually the other day. I went to her channel. She put up something about a dog. So
Right.
cute story. And then she came by my channel and we chatted a little bitty bat. So she's good.
Good, as long as she's around. I hadn't
Okay.
seen her.
Yeah. Well, there was 3 of these lives that I had put up, and one of them I was only able to tag, people in it. The other one, it only let me tag like half the people, and then it wouldn't let me tag anymore. So there was quite a few of them I didn't tag. I think I put a note on there or something saying sorry for not tagging anybody else, but I think it's because my computer was saying is the 97% full storage or something like that, so it wasn't letting me do
Typical.
any more.
That's why I had to turn my computer off, guys. It was just, I couldn't hear anything that the ladies were saying. So I had to come in my phone.
Yeah, your phone always works a lot better than your computer.
Yeah, my laptop, I know.
Yeah, I tried
So what's
the
happening
first
tonight?
day to do the live on the laptop. It was horrific. I was like, no, never mind. We're just going to do this from the phone.
We might as well. I just do mine on my phone now as well. So what's all coming up, ladies? What have you got coming up?
Well,
Oh.
start.
You guys want to see what my Monday craft video is going to be?
Yes.
Sure.
Oh, Christina, the bird bath you done and the bird feeder is amazing in your garden. I was watching.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I can take it for a second. Let me see.
You couldn't have matched
Let me
it
see.
any better.
Yeah, I changed it around now a little too because now they like the bird. The bird, they don't like the bird seeds I got them.
Right.
So they really love the water. So I made 2 water things and then I just put a little thing of bird seeds. I got to get better. Anyway.
You're going to have hundreds of birds in your garden.
I'm knocking things down.
I just noticed that Debbie had put my PayPal link up, and she's gone through to say thank you. If you play this back, thank you, Debbie.
Wait, I think if I turn it around, right? It would
I
be
don't know.
better.
He's doing like
Okay.
me with his sunflowers out there. I couldn't figure out how to do it. I was like, try.
You just go to options, and for options you go to camera,
wait.
and for camera go
Oh
to
yeah, we got
more
it. I
camera, and then you should be fine.
Oh, I just
yeah,
noticed under her name, she
and it
says
does
much
nothing.
love to everyone.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, look at the
Wow.
babies.
Oh, look.
That's spooky enough for you guys.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
hell,
cool.
Lee would have a heart. Oh no, Lee would have a heart attack with that. Oh hell no.
I'll show you how to make that on Monday.
Lee would be like,
That's
nice
cool.
knowing you. I'm out of here. No, he wouldn't even say that. He would just be out of here.
You'd be like, "Ciao, Roadrunner."
Yeah. That's that.
Yeah.
And then
Like,
I changed the bird feeders around. Let's see. Because like I said, they wanted they were really like bathing in the water and there wasn't enough room, so I'm like, I'm gonna make 2 water
I
ones.
love when you see them in the water. You know, like when they sit in the water and they flick their wings up in the air and they put their head under it. It's so cute.
Yeah.
So cute.
All right, wait. Now I gotta go to settings again. Ah! Should have left it turned around. Anyway.
Okay, Iron. So
Here
Lee's
we-
right there with you. She says, "Yeah, I don't like the doll thing either."
No, I'm not really
LOL.
I'm not very keen on dolls, the same as clowns. I don't like clowns either. So
So
yeah.
that I
Oh,
made another
yeah.
water one.
Oh look,
That is
see,
so
look
cute.
how
Now there's 2 water ones.
Look
This
at
one
that
didn't
one. I
get
think
it
that's
ran out
amazing.
of sun.
Oh, that one.
And then I put another one with the little bird seeds, but they don't like seeds. I gotta get.
Yeah,
That's so
they're
cute.
amazing.
So, but yeah, that's what I got going on for the birdies.
And that's just big candle
Yeah.
holders, guys, at the bottom.
Yeah, candle holder, Pyrex
That
dish.
wouldn't be very expensive to make them, would it? Really? You just get
No.
nice
Oh,
little
no.
kids and
Look
cane
how
it.
it's
No.
dish.
It looks really
No,
good.
because I got these candle holders like at the Goodwill, and then I just put different bowls that I already had on.
Remember and check out her channel, guys. She does do quick crafts and things on there as well as paranormal and stories.
I haven't seen that video yet where you made them, so I'll have to go and have a look at it. I really
Oh,
like them.
yesterday and today's video, 12 o'clock, were these guys.
Yeah, they're just
So-
up to date.
So how did you do the water thing? Like the water coming in and out of the
Oh,
Did you
that
use it on
I just
solar?
got one of those little water pump things on. I got them from Temu. They were
Oh, yeah.
a few dollars, literally like $6.95 on Temu or something.
Right.
Yeah, and you can put them in anything that has water. Put it in your bathtub if you want.
I like the solar panel you've got next to your for your lights and things. The small
Oh,
solar
yeah.
panel. Save a fortune in batteries.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
with the
that's
sun.
just for the pumps and the bird, not
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah. See, I
Save a
keep my
fortune.
my solar fountain. I keep it to where it's just bubbling on the end because the hummingbirds will fly down there, sit on the rocks, and they use where the water's just bubbling up. They use that and they wash their beaks off on it like that.
Oh.
So that's the reason
Yep.
I have it like that. And then I have just the open so the birds can clean their wings and
Yeah,
stuff like
right.
that.
Yeah.
But mostly the hummingbirds, because the hummingbirds won't come to water that's just still and not moving.
Right.
So with
Right.
it just
Right.
barely bubbling up, they're able to just go back and forth and wash their beaks to get any sugar stuff off or pollen or whatever. Not pollen,
Shows the
nectar.
trust you then.
Nectar to get nectar off. Yeah.
Iron, you don't like the doll thing? It's so cute.
I think
I was
it's
so proud of myself. I saw this lady was selling it. I really wanted it. I'm like, $70.
Make it
$70.
Well,
Like, can I
Wow.
make this
$70.
cheaper than $70? Can I make a small one first and then decide if I like it? Like, or maybe I can find it bigger, cheaper. So I did find doll parts bigger. So I found these little doll
put
heads
some
in a
imagination.
pack for $4.99 during Halloween. And then I got that thing that looks like a candle holder thing I got it on Amazon. You stick it in wine bottles, supposedly, and they have
Oh,
all
the
different.
candelabra thing, right?
Yeah, and so I
Yeah.
just used that, and it came out so cute. I love it.
Well, really.
Yeah, it does. Sherry, if you don't move, don't even move your head. Don't move your head. You're likely, I say don't move and you move. Where you were sitting at, you moved slightly. Look at that deal on her deal in the back, that tapestry, whatever. It looks like
Yeah, it
she
makes
has
her
a
look as if
halo.
she's got wings and a
Yeah,
halo.
and it,
Yeah.
it looks like she has a halo. Yeah,
It
look
makes your
right there.
spurs
Look.
coming out like this. It makes you look as if
Yeah,
you've got wings.
yeah. If I tell Lee don't move, he moves.
It's
I
human
said,
Well,
nature,
there's
Sherry,
no,
isn't
don't.
it?
I
there's no,
said,
you
Sherry,
never say do
Sherry.
not move. Sherry, do not move. Just say stay there. Like, because then I'm going
I
to.
said,
Don't
don't move, and you
move.
go.
Um, well, iron, you can get like plastic. It doesn't have to be dolls. You could even get like, if you can find those
Reindeers.
big plastic like eyeballs, and cut a hole in the plastic eyeball and put it on there, and just have like the plants coming out of the eyeball. That'd be cool too. Doesn't have to be dolls. Since you like
Yeah.
things,
You've got
specimens
some
in jars,
imagination,
I'm
I'm
assuming
Christina.
surprised.
eyeballs will work for you.
I'm surprised she didn't stick an athame in its eyeball or something.
Little cauldrons. Little cauldrons.
Oh yeah, you can put cauldrons with like, you know,
That'd be cool,
whatever you
actually.
want.
Little cauldrons.
It really is adorable.
Skulls.
What an
Little
idea this
skulls.
lady had, you know,
There we go. 4 little skulls instead of the dolls' heads.
or skulls. Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I could do with skulls, definitely.
Yeah, skulls.
Drew, do you have anywhere to go? Because I know sometimes you can just be on like for an hour or something, and you got to get food for your.
No, I'm
kids,
okay
Sherry.
tonight.
Are
Liam
you?
did come
Okay.
in, but he's been fed and everything. He's been in and out all night. Usually, if he's been out
Okay.
all day, I like to feed him, but he's not been out all night today.
Okay,
I'm
and I know
okay.
Sherry don't go to bed early, and Christina can talk for freaking 6 hours, so I ain't worried about Christina.
So can I. But I used
Today's
to.
my day off from crossovers, so I'm
Good
cool
Yeah,
with
luck,
it.
lady.
Mine's
Christina.
tomorrow. My second one.
20,000
Oh,
today and tomorrow I have off. Thank goodness. Maybe that's why they decided. Yeah, no, tonight.
Christina, you
Tonight,
need
because
to
she
put
has
your
2 days
schedule.
off, then she recuperate.
Okay, Christina, can you put your schedule again on the group, because I backtracked, and after so many days I delete them so it doesn't bog down my phone, and I think I deleted that one off. Can you put it in there again, and I'll just take a picture of it, and that way I've got it in my photos on your schedule, so I'll know when you're gonna.
Oh, my
What was
schedule.
that? Yeah, what was that, Sherry?
What was what?
A big white blob came in front of you, whoop, and then went away.
And that's happened a couple of
There's been
times
a
earlier.
lot.
Like just before I came on to you, there was this most brightest orange orb light just come right in the corner of my room, and it made my head spin because it took the whole of my wall up. I was like, "What the?"
Wow.
And it was
We're
gone.
gonna have to.
Like there's loads going on
Yeah.
here at the minute. It's
Well,
not just the
when we
spirits;
watch.
it's the other side as well. It's the
Oh,
Yeah.
When
yeah,
we
and
watch
she
the
knows.
ETs
replay,
are
we're
here at the
gonna
minute.
have to see it again. It was just like whoop,
Well,
right on the
there's
right on
actually
your.
been a few things going on. There's been a few things going on around everybody.
I
So,
can't say whether it was your right side or your left side, because on this thing it's like mirrored, and sometimes I don't know if it's the right or the left, or what it
Yeah.
is. Sometimes I'll point one direction and I'm pointing the wrong direction. If I point like this, I'm pointing at Christina, but when I play it back, I'm like pointing the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm just looking at the comments, guys. Yeah, there's a lot of traffic in all our houses right now, Kim.
Yeah.
The
So,
thing is, the spirits are what it's all about, so it's perfect to. I mean, we go out investigating, so it only makes sense that you would learn how to cross the spirits as well. As Sherry was saying last week, I think everybody should have somebody on the team that can cross the spirits. I really do.
I'm gonna make sure I put this up there so I've got it.
I
And
think.
plus, when I
I think. I think if you're going to have a team and you're the main person, you learn how to do it first. And I think you should learn all of your team to be able to cross the spirits over. I'm not being funny, but you're not always going to be together, and you may be in a location where they can't wait for you till the end and they need it there and then. So it's good that everybody knows how to do it, because not everyone waits till the end of an investigation, and some of them do it there and then on the spot because the spirit's really desperate to get away, or you know what I mean. So I think all people that do investigating, even if you've got a team, you should learn them how to do it just in case, because there might be a day that you're not there. So if you're not there, they're not going to know what to do, are they? So all of your team should do it, really.
I hate watching YouTube. There's some of the big teams out there investigate, and you can clearly tell that the spirits want help, and it makes you wonder: do they help them after they do their video?
No, they don't.
Probably not.
The big channels don't care about the spirits' well-being. All they care about is the views and how much they're getting love. They don't do anything for the spirits after. You know what I mean?
No, I went investigating with James and Chelsea. I've been I've talked to other big YouTubers and whatever. I've asked them, like, listen, you have that spirit. Why? And you send that doll to me. And that doll obviously wants help, and they won't answer you half the time. They just
ignore you.
James and Chelsea were more open to figure out how to help the spirit, and cleansings and all this stuff. But most of the other ones were like, they don't care that they have haunted dolls. They don't care that they have these haunted items. They don't care that they have these spirits. They throw them up in the garage. I'm like, what are you doing?
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's disrespectful.
So they just bring them out to kill them, basically.
I used to follow
terrible.
YouTubers on YouTube that had 30, 40, 50,000 viewers, you know what I mean? And I used to be like, to some of them, I used to be, like the supporter where you can get up behind the scenes, and there would be videos where they're after the show and that, and you never see them do any cleansing or blessings. You could ask them questions. Do you cross them? A lot of them turned around and said, no, we don't cross them. And I'm like, yeah, but don't you think that maybe they do want help, or, and that's why I don't support bigger channels, because I just don't think they're in it for the right reason.
Haunted Finders, they say a prayer and things after every investigation.
Yeah, that's good. Some of them are good, but a lot of them, like all of these, investigator wannabes and the ones that want to be like Zach Bagans and all that stuff. Now, come on, you need to learn how to look after the spirit. Like, it's not about your views.
That's what it's all about.
That drives me crazy. I just want to go stand outside Zach Bagan's museum. I want to stand outside his museum and cross every single spirit in the. That's what I want to do.
I have full-blown had hits about Zach Bagans on my channel. I've had fits.
That's just when you're watching channels where they go and pay to do the investigations. I don't think they're allowed to cross the spirits over, because they're paying for a specific location. And the people that
they're not allowed. But I'm not.
Want them to cross
but these guys weren't going. These places these guys weren't going to weren't places they were paying for. They were free places. They could have easily sent them spirits over, and they chose not to.
And if there's a child that needs help in a paid place, I'm not paying to stay there. I'm standing right outside with my spirit box. I'm crossing over the spirit. You can't tell me a damn freaking thing, because I'm out in the street.
Well, I don't pay to go to those places because I couldn't afford it anyway.
No, I mean, some of them are fairly cheap, but that's not the point. A lot of the spirits in those big famous places like that, they want to stay there. They want to talk to the people. They like the attention. Because I did a Sinister Sunday on one place, and they're like, no, they don't want to come. They like it over there. They like that people go see them. They like talk to them. They like that they could spook them. Like, some spirits are very happy doing that, and they don't want to cross. But if they want to cross, I don't care how much you're charging to get into the place. I'm standing outside and crossing.
Yeah, but see, some places they
Sorry.
some places they
You
do.
know?
Yeah, well, they'll be at your house anyway.
They'll
Yeah.
follow you anyway.
Well, I did have two Irish monks. I did a Sinister Sunday on something, and I was talking about them, and I heard him talk on a disembodied voice on the Sinister Sunday, and I was like, uh, and I like then like I started asking Sarah, I'm like, oh my God, do we have the monks here? And I'm like, that's so
Yeah.
cool. I'm like, they want to cross over, and she's like, yeah. I'm like, monk from Ireland, and she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, you know.
It's awful.
But now I'm like, oh man, I messed up that place in Ireland because it's like one of the most haunted places. Now I out of there. I'm like, oh gosh, you know, the monk's room
I'm
and all that
interested in
stuff, and
watching
I'm like,
videos
oh
now. Yeah.
darn.
Yeah.
The thing is,
Can't
though,
wait to
is when
watch
people
videos,
cross
yeah.
them over, they automatically think because the spirits have been crossed over, the spirits don't come back here. The spirits still don't go to those places, and the fact is they do. They still go back to those
Yeah,
places and they still do their
they'll-
activity. It's just like your family. When your family die, yeah, they're not here with you as much, but they are around you all the time. They know what you're doing all the time, and they're there whenever you need them. They are there, even though you can't feel them all the time. You know, like
yeah.
it's just different. Like if
But
you
I'm
die,
assuming
it's
the
the
monks
second they go straight
are
over.
like,
It's not like being lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
I'm scared they can't come back, won't they?
But I was like,
I've had
Christina.
spirits that said that I don't want to go into the light because I ain't going to come back to see my family, am I? I said, you can still come back to see your family. It just means you're coming back safely. You've got a passage to come and go, and you
That's
ain't going to
right.
get
Yeah.
by anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they think just because they don't go up to the next level, we'll say next level, they think that they don't get to come back, but they do.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where they're at; they can still talk to them. Just
Yeah.
where they're at on on what level they can still talk to them. But Christina, I have a question for you. In your experience on the spirit box when you're crossing them over, what works best for you? What spirit boxes? I have a ton of different things, so I'm curious as what
okay,
feel
you
is best.
cannot use anything other. You cannot use any apps crossover spirit. You cannot.
See, I have my
The apps?
Oculus 3.
The apps on the phones, any app only gets the spirits around you. It can't talk. It's not like a spirit radio where it in the airway. It's electronic. It only has a certain amount of
You need the radio.
around you, you know.
Radius.
So it's only to talk to the spirits around you. So the only thing that you can use is something like an SB7, an SB11, one of those portal boxes, maybe something that's using
A
radio
physical
wave.
box. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I have my Ovilus 3, and that would work really because that's not an app. It's a totally.
You not got a PSP7 or an S box?
What?
Have you got an S box?
I have that Ovilus that I use, and I can't remember what the name of that other one is that I have. But
PSP7?
they're not apps on my phone. It's a whole different.
Yeah, they're both.
Right.
You know,
As
whole
long as
different
it's not
thing.
an app, you can use
Yeah,
it.
it's not an app.
And it's whatever you're comfortable with and your spirit guide's comfortable with, but it has to be through the airwaves. You can't use an app. You can use an app to talk to a spirit that's next to you or right around you.
Actually, I
But
said
not-
Ovilus 3, but it's not an Ovilus 3. It's higher than that one. That's it right there.
It's an Ovilus XS, is it not, or something?
Yeah.
Ovilus 5? Is it 5 or 4? Can't remember. What is the V?
It's an Ovilus V. It's the new one. Yeah, it's the new Ovilus. It's the one that does all the temperature readings and things as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got a whole bunch of different
Ovilus
things
V.
on it.
Yeah, no, that's what I have. I have an
It's
Oculus and I've got a little
Ovilus.
grey one
I
as
wrote
well.
it down. It's an Ovilus 5B, not a 3. An Ovilus 5B. So it's the newer one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the new one.
Mine's an old schoolish one, but you can get bits that add to it, but I've never done that. It's okay the way it is. So I have my Ovilus that I use, and then I've got a little grey box that was made, and it's got all of the radio frequencies and everything that goes through it, and they speak through that. So it's either them that I use. I do use my spirit apps, but I only use it when they're in my room with me. Is when they're when they're going through, I use myself, and I'll use my pendulum and stuff like that so people can see what's
Right.
going on. And I normally
Right.
would turn my app off
At all.
and things like
Look at
that.
the stuff
So
on it.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
and
not spirit apps for that are going through.
like Sherry, like me or you, we know when they're around anyway. But like Christina
Yeah,
said, that was going to pull them in from a short. So see, that's something I learned from you, because from the apps on the spirit box, they have a certain radius to pull in, where those go out further and pull in.
the
Right.
apps are more for like on you sort of thing. Like if you're at an investigation and they're standing next to you or they're walking in that location, the spirit apps will pick that up. But if you're using that for things like crossing that, you won't hear anything. It'll be all jumbled, and it'll just be the normal spirits around you
Yeah.
talking. It isn't them
I
doing
can't
that.
imagine using necrophonic to cross the spirits, to be honest. It would just
No,
wouldn't be right. Yeah, it's
no.
got.
No,
I've
well,
got feelings
because
of
the problem is the necrophonic is not used. You need. We all understand. Sherry knows.
yeah, the radio wave.
Who knows? Okay, Billy, your spirit guide, right? Sarah and Billy helping. Aura, who's helping. You know, Sherry.
Aura and Darius. I have two that do mine.
Aura and Darius. See,
Yeah.
you have two. You have one. They they have to like get somebody on the other side to unlock the door. You know, it's like,
Yeah,
you know, they need something to communicate through. Do that.
sure.
Sherry is the conduit. Let's say. We
I'm
have
the guide.
we have Pukma here now. Pukma can
Yeah.
open the door to the other side. But if you do not have one of those people with you, like that can open, like Drew only has Billy. Billy can call the other side, but he can't open that door to the other side. He
Yeah.
Yeah.
calls them on that SB7, and his friend that he's working with on the other side, he has somebody on the other side, opens it until you get, let's say, a spirit who, like Pukma, can open on the other side. You know,
Yeah.
that's helping you. So you need that SB. You need one of those that are on radio.
Yeah, and like I have what's called a link chain when I go through to the, because obviously where I walk, I see and I talk and whatever through or through Darius, I have a direct communication with them. So it's kind of like that I'm in that vortex with them. So I have a link chain, which is something that links to Darius aura and to the energies that are actually there helping them to go over, the ones that are from the divine area. So, and once that's done, that chain will be broke from me, and then Aura and Darius come, and at the end of the doorway before it gets shut, there's something they have to link off to show that they've left that doorway and gone back into my realm with me. They have like a specific thing so that the spirits know when everything's done, everything's over. Okay, Darius and Aura's just gone out of the vortex and it's been cut and the link's been cut and they come out. You know what I mean? They can't just walk out and just leave it and shut the door. They have to break the link because they have to link them to go in there. You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
Yeah. So it's like every spirit has their own way too. It's not only I have my own way and you have your own way and you, but our spirits like to do it a certain way. They're the ones who taught us. So, and that's the way they know, and we're not gonna mess with their mojo because that's what they do, you know. So,
Yeah.
you know, I don't mess if Sarah and if they want to do something different, they tell me. You know, if they want to add something, take away something, whatever it is. But they, you know, they do the work on that side, you know, to get, you know. I used to, like I said before, we had like Pukma here. I had to with Sarah sit with the pendulum, get the alphabet out, and figure out a name of someone we wanted to call. Okay, to like and this was when we were just learning, you know, figure out like, okay, I have 20 spirits here. This guy Joe says his grandmother's crossed over. What's your grandmother's name? And then I sit there with the alphabet trying to figure out the grandmother's name and the last name so I can call the grandmother to come, unlock the door, and send them through. So now we got better because now Sarah, we have Putma, we know how to open the door. But before we didn't, and we had to call somebody on the other side and be like, hey, knock, knock, basically. And I had to do that with the SB7.
Yeah, that's funny.
So,
That's
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, no, it is strange. It is interesting in that.
I love doing it. I think it's a purpose. It's a purpose to keep doing what we love, isn't it? Because if you're helping the spirits, that's what it's all about. It's about helping those lost souls that's got nobody else.
That's the most important thing, is them. You have to look at it that would you want to be, when you pass over, would you want to be walking around this land for like for so long and remembering what happened
One of
to
your
you,
loved
how you
ones.
died, or seeing all your family die and you're not able to get over to be with them and you're on your own suddenly? You know, it's a horrible thing to have to
I'd hate to
face.
think
There's
one of my
nobody
loved
left
ones
either.
was stuck. You know, I'd hate to think they were
Horrible.
stuck out there.
Yeah.
No one had to cross.
And
And that's-
kids. Who
Oh,
can
yeah.
stand there and listen to a kid say, please help me, and walk away and not help them? How can you, would you leave a real living kid like that? Why would you leave a spirit kid like that? That's how I look at it. You know? Can't, no. Mm-mm.
A lot of the bigger locations, they don't want the spirits to go. They want the
But
spirits
they
to
don't
stay
understand
there.
it. That's why. The reason they say that is because they
They're
don't
making
understand
money,
what they go
though.
through.
It's
That it's
like-
making money, and that's all it is about them. They don't care about what those spirits are suffering or what they're going through. All they're thinking about is that and how much they're going to get from it. You know what I mean? They're not thinking about the torture those poor souls are going through. That's why I'd be like Christine. If I went to a place and I said, am I allowed to cross any spirits? And they said, no, I'd go and stand somewhere on that land where they can't see me, and I'd do it. I don't give crap, yeah? I know that spirits will still come back to that location if they've got memories, and they will still make activity for you. But you'll know when they're coming back safely and no other energy can get them because they've been protected by the higher energy now because they're back there with them. You know what I mean? So there is no excuse really. Like, I didn't do it because I was told we're not allowed to because it's a big place where they get loads of paranormal activity and they get paid for it. I'd be like, I don't care if they get paid for having spirits.
Well, that's what I said.
I would send them. I'd go out the door, I'd stand on the field, and I'd go, any spirit here that wants to go home, come here now. I'll do it now. I don't care if I've paid for you and I get in trouble. They're more important than you. You don't understand it.
I wonder if they have a disclaimer. I wonder if they have a disclaimer, a legal document that you have to sign.
But they might. But this is the whole
then you
thing.
just do it off the land. Do it off the land.
Yeah,
Go
mystical.
to another area.
You're not gonna pay. You're gonna pass by, across the street. You're gonna take a little chair. You're gonna sit. You're gonna take out your spirit box. You're gonna cross the street. They cannot tell you you can't cross the spirits from across the street. And if those spirits happen to come, well, okay, I didn't come to your hotel, and I don't care what your hotel has in it. You know.
Yeah.
Even if I'd gone on an investigation and paid, I'd still do it.
Yeah, I understand that, and I agree with you, Christina. What I'm saying is probably why some of the big investigators don't, when they're doing those, is because they probably have something legal document or something that they have to sign.
Maybe
so I'm just
so.
saying that.
Yeah, maybe they would have a legal document that they've had to sign, but then you wouldn't do it on that property. Spirits are very aware. You can sneakily tell them, I can cross you and we can do it away from it. They will follow you. There is no excuse. Even if you're not allowed to do it on that land, you could go 2 blocks down the way. You're nowhere near that building and they can't stop you from crossing them spirits. You're not
but I bet a lot of investigators don't know that, though.
Yeah, but most people should know that. Like, I can't do it in there.
If they cross over spirits, if they cross over spirits, they know they could do it from anywhere. They know they don't have to be at that house. If they really know how to cross over spirits.
Yeah.
But if they're just fakers that, are just there for, like Sherry says, the views and everything, they don't know how to cross them over and they don't care. They probably are not even connected with their spirit guide. You don't
have to do it so that you're heard. You could just say spirits. I know, like, I can't do it here, but I do cross and help you to go to the light if you want to.
have a little note.
I'm leaving here at this time. You can follow me. And they're not going to know that those spirits are following you about 4 or 5 blocks down the road, are they? They're not going to know that you're sending them over, but you can, you know, you can do that.
It's all
And
the
they're
big
seeing the
places,
videos now.
Yeah.
They're seeing the videos now. They can hear what we're saying. So
Yeah.
they do know now.
It's all the big places like Penhurst and the
Yeah.
one on the hill and things. It's all those
But you don't do
spirits.
it on that land. You don't do it on that property. I know, I understand that. I've done this for a long time, and I've been to places where I've had to pay. So I do know what you're on about. And I wouldn't do it on that property. That's what I'm saying. I would just say, like, look, if you want help, you can follow me later when the investigations and stuff stop. And that's it. You don't have to let on to them.
Yeah.
I'll leave
Maybe
the property
one
from
day-
with
Yeah.
the corner.
Maybe one day the big investigators will run across our little bitty channel and see this and go, "Oh, I didn't know I could do that."
I didn't know I was supposed
never
to.
know.
I think half of those big channels still wouldn't do it. I'm sorry. I don't think half of these big channels really care about the spirits. All they care about is their views and how
Half
big
of them
they get.
fake what they do anyway. Don't
Yeah.
think the spirits are really
And they're
there.
not real. Half of them are just fake and don't even, the evidence not real. It's just made up.
Yeah, and the ones who do get real evidence, they don't even care, you know, like they get the evidence. Oh, look what we found. Did you hear the noise? Blah blah blah.
Exactly.
They got lucky with that, you know? And they're not going to cross them over. They want to go back there and get more for on the second video, okay? Because they actually got something there that they
Exactly, aye.
you know.
They go there not wanting to catch anything because they want to see
David.
everything up to fake it. Welcome in, David. So
That's why, like, people like us that have got like real channels and really do care about that. It's why it's so hard for people like us to get out there and get noticed. It's so hard because you have these bigger channels and things that overtake what we do, and sometimes it's so hard for us to be able to stand up to what they are, and we shouldn't have to have to do that. You know, like, I wouldn't want to be like them. So,
I tag
you know?
when I've done some of these
Everything out that I
videos.
get.
when we've
Hi,
done some of
Danny
these-
love. Mwah. Kisses.
Uncle Danny.
Hey Danny, when I've tagged like some of the really big channels on these, none of them's ever come in. But I do it every
No, they
once in a
don't.
while.
They don't.
Yeah, just to see.
And they're rude and
not one of them
disruptive
has
to you.
ever come in.
They're rude and disruptive to you. I remember when I first joined YouTube, and there was this channel that I'm not going to say the name, but I used to follow it all the time. I believed in them big time. I thought they were real. They turned out to be fake and that, yeah. But I remember there being an incident going on in their room, and I could pick up on what was going on, and I was telling them, and these guys turned around and said, "Oh, get out of my room. You're just talking a load of crap. You don't even know what you're talking about. You're a small channel, and you're just a wannabe." And it's them, and you know. And I walked out, and I thought, you know, I'm not going to entertain you anymore. And then a few of those people from that chat come to me a few days ago, and you know what you were saying in the chat, and that actually happened, and we've just found out that they actually faked something happening in there. I was like, I told you that it weren't real, and that they would put it, they were framing a spirit's name into something that it was going to happen. I told you that. I said, if you want to carry on following him, that's up to you.
When
They're going to be
Mr.
seeing how they
Hunt
put me down to show a small
first
channel. I don't
started,
care if they put me down. I don't care.
when Mr. Hunt and the Dead first started, he used to do witchcraft in his channel, and it was before he moved, and he used to turn off the lights. He had a big setup going round like that, and he used to turn off the lights and turn them on, and the spirit, he was stabbing a doll, making it bleed, and the shadows, he was trying to say there was a spirit turning on and off the lights, and I mailed him and I said, you can see a shadow figure down below, and he told me never to mention it or I was getting blocked. So basically it wasn't a shadow figure, it was somebody crawling underneath putting the lights on and off. And that was a way back.
That's
when
what I'm saying. They're fake. And because I was picking up on it because of my abilities and stuff, and I was saying, look guys, yeah, there are energies there, but what you're saying is happening isn't happening, and that person is not where you're saying it is. and I know that you're gonna fake something and whatever. And they did. They faked putting something in a wall and saying that they found human remains when it weren't. It was something they brought off
Oh,
of
I
an
know who
internet
you're
thing.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who
And I
you're
used
talking
to follow
about.
them big time. I used to really believe in them.
So did I. I
And
used to
yeah,
speak to
and
them
then no more.
recently.
And they told me to get out of the room. You're talking crap, and you don't know what you're talking about. You're a small channel. You're not important. And after that,
It's
I
So
stopped
true.
going
just
to big channels.
because,
Got no
yeah,
respect for
just
big
because we're
channels.
small channels don't mean we don't know, because a lot of us knows a whole
Well, that's what I
lot
said to
more
him. I
than
said,
a lot
"Excuse
of
me,
the
have you
bigger
ever come
ones.
and watched my channel in the whole 2 years that I've supported you?" And they're like, "No." I was like, "So how do you know that I'm not a good channel?" I said, "On your bike, I'm probably 10 times an investigator than you'll ever be." And I just left. I said, "I'll go," and I ain't coming back. Goodbye. You know,
Yep.
Yeah,
like literally.
And they have to
yeah.
go and do burning things onto pentagrams in old buildings and things to get the views. So who's
Yeah,
the
and
real
that's what I'm saying. They
investigator?
started faking stuff. You could see that they were faking a lot of the stuff that they were doing, and that's why I was like, "I ain't having nothing to do with you." There's a couple of other channels that I went in and I supported for a while, but they were just the same way. And I was like, "Do you know what?
They make
I
it
don't
look
like the
as
big
if
channels. I
witchcraft
hate the
is
big
bad.
channels."
A lot
Yeah.
of these channels as well make it look as if witchcraft is bad and it summons
Yep.
demons and things when it's really not.
Hmm.
I had one. I
What
had
are they
one in one
trying
of
to
the
Yeah.
do?
big channels. Go get out of my room. You do black magic. You're part of the devil. I said, "Excuse me. Who are you talking to?" And that, like, have you even seen my channel or anything? That was when I first started out on YouTube. And then that's when I found all
Somebody
my
claims
guys
there's
in
a
the smaller
pentagram.
groups. I started going around with these guys, like all of you lot, and other people I met in the past. That some of them have passed away now, bless them, God rest their souls. But I met smaller groups, and I'm telling you, the community we have here is unbelievable. If you want to be part of a paranormal community that's going to respect you, come here. Don't go to the big channels. Come to the smaller channels because it's real, and we'll
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
respect you.
because a lot of the
Respect you,
bigger
you know
ones,
what I
like
mean?
I say, sometimes when they're filming and they show a pentagram and they're like, and their title is "The Devil is Here." Okay, if the devil's
Yeah,
there, then put it in there.
clickbait.
But if they
Most of
see
the
the
time it's for
pentagram, then they're
protection.
like, "Oh, the devil's here, the witch is here, and they're doing evil things." I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, that's probably a protection pentagram that they put up for protection while they were there.
Or they've
Yeah.
done it the night before
Well,
to make
yeah,
it
did
And
it the
then
night
sinister.
before.
haven't you noticed with the big channels, it's never normal spirits. It's always there's a demonic here, there's a demon here.
Yeah.
And they do things that make themselves look like they're really cool. And then they'll sit and bitch the next day online when the spirit is actually physically attacked them because they're telling them to
Yeah.
do stuff to them
I
and that, like
know.
Yeah.
demonic and that, trying to
They
think
go
of BB.
running around
Well, it's
like
your
little
own fault. You
girls.
disrespect a spirit and challenge them. That's your fault, mate.
Yeah,
That ain't the
And most of
yeah.
spirit's
the time
fault.
it's fake. Most of
We
the time
don't.
it's
We
they've not even been attacked.
we don't go running around screaming like little girls. If we see something, we run to it. We want to know what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And we want
wait!
everybody else. Yeah,
The only way
we
you'll
want
ever
everybody
see
else to
me
see it.
the only way you'll ever see me run from an area or move really quickly is when Aura, Darius, or Astra, or anyone comes forward to me and
Tell
goes,
me to
"Sherry,
run.
you need to go." I know that when they say that, it's for a reason, and I'm
Yeah.
off. Any other time, I'll be walking in on the spirit, like, "Yeah, I'm coming
Right.
after you, mate. You're scaring me." You know?
There was
Yeah.
only one time where, and because I was with my son too, a spirit said over the spirit box, "Christina, run." And I was like,
Yeah,
"Let's go, Jonathan." Because I never heard that before. They tell me, like, go away, but they usually say, like,
Yeah.
please go or something. Then I know they don't want to talk.
Yeah.
Or,
Sometimes they say "f
he's
off."
behind you or he's going to get you.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, whatever. But when
Oh,
you
it's
hear
gone round.
Christina run, I knew. I was like, no,
yeah.
they used my name like
That's the
somebody's
only
trying to
time
tell
that
me
I
something,
do it.
you
I
know?
have
Yeah.
to
So,
hear. I have
Yeah.
to hear my
I
name
I
physically.
jump more and scream when Lee's standing behind me, and not saying nothing, and I turn around like,
It's a buck
and
for
I didn't
me.
even know he
Scream
was
at the buck.
like he was right behind me.
Yeah, that's what I do. If my name's like physically given out and said Sherry run, then I do. But if it's just normal, like get out, I don't want to talk, whatever. I don't take notice of that. I'll just move on and go to another little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but if they say Sherry run, I know. And because with a lot of my investigations, I'm on my own. I don't have anyone there with me
yeah.
if anything was to go.
Yeah.
So it's different. You know what I mean? Now because of my abilities and how high I am, and then a lot of the spirits are aware of that. They have to be extra caution with me because I'm not somebody that sit here and wait for somebody to go with me. I walk woods on my own. I walk
Yeah.
graveyards on my own. You know what I mean? So
Danny.
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
So I think
Anyway, was the person you were watching in about the devil mystical were they in Ohio?
You're on about me.
uh,
I don't really want to say their names, but yeah.
yeah, we
No,
don't
no.
want to say names.
Mystical said that.
No.
I just asked if they were in Ohio.
What? On
The group
on
that was
the
talking
one
about the devil was there.
well, there's several of them that does that. I don't know which ones are in where, but there's.
I
several
asked
of
you
them that do
because
that.
I got this weird message on my spirit box the other day, and basically they said Satan is in Ohio in a bar doing magic. And I was like, oh, thanks for telling me I'm not going to Ohio. But that's what they told me. So I'm like, okay, thanks for sharing. I will not go to Ohio. Nope.
Apparently it gets around quite well. So yeah, next time you're in the bar, be careful if you see some stranger sitting there looking mysterious. It might be the
Doing
devil.
magic, and don't go near that dude because that's
Just
Satan.
don't go into bars in Ohio.
Yeah,
I
I
haven't
don't
been
really
once
know
in a
where
long
any
time,
of
so.
them. I don't really know where any of them are from because I just really watch their channel and I don't really know anything.
One of the
about
best
them.
ones is
I was just
Paranormal
going on
Nightmare,
joking
and
with
they're
you
from
because
Ohio.
that's what the spirits told me. So then I was like,
But
oh, I
no,
wonder
yeah.
if they're in Ohio.
Well,
Obviously,
the
that's where her Satan is.
the one spirit that told me to run, and I was out in the woods by myself during going down that haunted holler because several people told me how bad it was, how haunted it was. That people used to live back there moved out because they wouldn't even come out at nighttime, and so I went walking down there myself. Well, the thing was, is I'm so hard of hearing. It said run like that, but as soon as it said that, the wind picked up, my phone turned off, it just died. Well, I didn't hear the run because I'm hard of hearing, so it should have said it louder until I came home and charged up my battery on my phone, and then I heard it, and I was like, oh, I didn't even hear that. And then no
Well,
spirit tell me to run, I didn't hear it.
when your phone died and whatever. But when your phone died and everything, you didn't go. You still didn't continue. You went back, obviously, because you're like, oh, the phone's dead. I can't film.
Well, that's exactly well what it was. Yeah, when it died, I was like, well, now, okay, if I fall and break my leg, there's nobody here to get me back. I have no way of calling no help. So
So
I guess I better
basically,
head back.
inadvertently, they stopped you anyway because you didn't keep going, which is what they were trying to tell you not to do, and you didn't because they were like, they probably knew you didn't hear them, so they're like, screw
They
this,
can't,
shit, we're just
let's
gonna
turn
make
the
her
phone
phone
off. She'll
die.
know. She'll turn around and go home if I turn her phone off. That she'll know what we're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, when I was walking out there, I right here in my ear. I mean, and since when I used to work in the prison system and stuff, I was used to getting into fights and everything all the time. So I heard in my ear like a like that so loud. I turned around with my fist. I was ready to punch somebody, and it was like there's nobody there. I'm like, get a hold of yourself. Calm down. You're by yourself. And then I decided to go in further down into it, and I went further.
You do.
That's when it cut my phone off when it said run.
Well, there you go. Awesome. Get it home. Get home.
Okay.
I'll never forget. I was at this one place, it was the scariest EVP I ever heard. But then when I played it back at the house, I'm like, oh, it doesn't seem scary on on the video, But when there's wind, there's cars, there's noise, it's dark, you're by yourself, and all you hear on the spirit box is ah! Like, shit, I'm leaving. Bye. Thanks.
I would go as well. Right, okay, bye.
And I was like, that was the scariest EVP I ever heard. It sounded like a pirate. I don't know. It was so scary. But when I get home and I listen to it, I'm like, it doesn't give the oomph. It was so scary in person, but I think it was also the atmosphere.
It makes you wonder if you're maybe hearing it in your ear then at the time, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just think they sound how they're supposed to at that moment, and then when you get the EP, it's a bit different. I've had some pretty spooky EVPs where they've said, "Can we have your soul?" So there's something else they were saying about biting your neck. I don't know what that was about. I thought that was like a vampire sort of spirit.
I am a vampire.
I've had one that was saying,
Right, David.
we want you dead, we will grab you, and things like that. I've had some really like screwed up things, and half of my investigators have started bolting out of the woods, but I'm the one that just stands there like, you're saying you want me? Come on then.
Yeah.
I am that sort of person because I don't fear them. If you don't fear them, they can't do anything to you. I'm like, come on in,
Yeah.
do your work.
That's
What
right.
you want, and they won't because they know. I said, I'm not here to
Yeah.
upset you. I'm not here to be disrespectful. I'm just trying to learn about you. But if you want to kill me and that, I'm here. Come on.
Yeah.
But they don't.
Well,
It's just
you know-
9 times out of 10, they're just trying to scare you to get you to go away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just
So
pulling
Well,
you out.
I told Lee I was gonna go back out, but he made me promise that I wouldn't go by myself. So I
No.
asked him. I said, "Well, then you go with me." Well, he didn't really want to, but he said he would go with me, but he'd have to carry all of his arsenal.
Yeah.
Not just one, but one here, one over here.
Does
What
are
brings
you
back-
are you talking about
If
are you
ever-
talking about real weapons?
Probably.
Well,
Probably,
yeah.
Does Lee
Yeah.
know that real weapons don't stop spirits?
Well, he said, yeah, because I told him that.
That's
my
Dr.
God.
Bears
honey,
and Tigers.
I said, that's not
I'm just
good."
curious, because maybe people think, that if they shoot them,
But he
You'll
would
be
feel
more
he,
safer
but
with a
he
circle
would
of
feel
candle lights
yeah.
around you.
He would feel
Candle
better,
lights around you, you'll be safe.
Yeah, but he would feel better, doing that. And I said, no, I don't want you going with me with all that.
yeah.
No. I said, put one in your pocket, then we're good. Don't go with all of that. He's like,
It's not going to help, like Christina said, though. Like, you're going to shoot the gun at it and it's just going to go straight through and it's going to go, what the hell? Like, was that supposed to hurt me or something?
To make them feel better.
Yeah, but doing
Well,
doing
I
all
can
of that,
understand
he would
because
feel
God
better.
forbid a person walks up on you, you want to have
Well,
one
that
weapon.
way, yeah.
I
yeah.
understand. But all those weapons are going overboard. The police are gonna think that you're gonna kill somebody. They're gonna arrest
They're
you.
going out on the mass murder
no.
with me.
No, we told one of the cops about it. He wanted to go with us too.
Oh, bloody hell.
He's
Yeah.
coming with
He's
you.
like, oh, I want to go with y'all. I want to go with y'all down there.
They're building the protection you need.
Yeah.
I can imagine that if Sister Mystical was out on an investigation and Lee was actually there, you'd probably see Lee standing in a little area with a massive circle of lights around him going,
He's all-
No, he doesn't.
I could see him. I could see him with the salt. Like, oh, they say salt keeps things away. Like, he keeps like a whole big humongous bag of salt, like throwing it everywhere.
It'll
No,
be in
I
his
gotta
circle
hand
of
it to him.
lights with his shades.
I gotta hand it to him when we went to the Sensible Tunnel because see he had already been there, so he knew all about it. And the vehicle, see the thing is it says if you drive your vehicle in it and you turn it off, it will not turn back on again at all. And that's when you hear the baby crying and the screaming and everything. And he went through all of that when he was younger. So he's the one that told me about it. Is why we went. And sure enough that it is. But I got to hand it to him. And he was really brave because the whole time we were in the tunnel, he was out of the vent and right at the entrance because he was also watching that SLS. He was the one that was hollering for me that it started catching the spirits on it, and he was hollering for me to come back. So, because he was picking it up on it. And so I gotta hand it to him. He done good on that. I was
Well
proud
done,
of him.
SLS. Well done, Mr. Lee.
We're not taking the mick out of you, Lee. We're definitely not. We're just saying, we're just giving you some advice on things you can do to keep yourself safe.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
we're just pulling your chain.
We'll be fine.
And beer spray.
Hey, yes,
Well,
great.
the thing that scared me the most on one of my videos was that there was a homeless woman somewhere where I didn't think there was going to be any people. And when I went to go, and I was like, oh, and she's like, hi. And she's sitting there in her lounge chair and in the middle of the abandoned psychiatric part of this place. And I was like, oh, hi. I'm like, I just want to say hi to the spirits in there. She's like, oh, yeah, it's cool. Come on. And she sat there while I did, I videoed a little. I didn't do the spirit box because I didn't. insult her or anything, but I just kind of, you know. And then I'm like, do you know where the buildings are that I could walk in? She's like, there. I never found it that day. I finally found them after, but
I was going to give you a clue.
but yeah, it was funny. She scared me the most out of anything. Almost had a heart attack.
Oh yeah, that's what I said, that the living scare you more than the dead do. Because I've had it where like when we've gone to certain woods when I used to go with my team and that. And obviously some people, they're coming back from work late, and if they go to a certain place to go home and that, they go through the woods and that. The amount of times we've been walking around with our torches and we've just seen this bright white face turn in front of us, and it's some bloke walking going home, and he's screaming at the same time. He's like, oh my God, what's going on? I was like, oh my God, sorry.
Get that at Brookwood.
In the woods at this time of night, we're investigators of ghosts and stuff. He's like, oh my God, I'm going. Starts running.
You get that at Brookwood. People walking their dogs and they've no idea there's hundreds of spirits around them.
Yeah, really late at night. Like, why would you be walking a dog in a woods at this time of night? You know what I mean? Like, oh my God.
You know there's about 300 spirits up here.
And he's like, you're going on about me walking a dog, but what the hell are you walking around as a group in there? I was like, we're ghost investigators. We're like a paranormal investigators.
What are you on about, Danny? What are you on about, Danny? You see, Danny? I'm trying to figure out what he's saying.
No, they're talking for mix of you,
They're taking four mix
of
of
you, say why Christina buttons and pup. No chance, brother. I don't have a clue what that means.
Basically, there's 4 of us taking the Mickey out of not just one.
Yeah.
Now, he said there's 4 of us talking on the mic, and there's no chance. Maybe they were like, "Oh, Danny, you should go up there," and he was probably like, "Yeah, and where am I gonna talk?"
So, Christina, when you and Daddy are together, does he ever get a word in, or you just like?
No, I let him. You know, I a lot of times I wait for him to talk. You know, and then he ends up getting on his game, and then I'll go okay, I'll get on my game, thinking eventually, you know. But yeah, but you know, normally when I call him excited about something, you know, he never picks up. So it's only when I have nothing to say, you know, where it's like, "Hey, hon," I'm like, "Hi, what are you doing? Nothing. What are you doing? Nothing. Okay." You know? But when I'm excited or I'm nervous or I have a question or I need him, you know, he don't answer me for 6 hours.
So, Christina, you probably call him and say, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm lifting weights." And then he calls you and says, "What are you doing?" And you're like, "I'm making crafts."
Watching the
Yeah,
way.
I've done crafts on the phone while he's sitting there doing, you know, making a video or something. We do that.
We're going on 2 hours, guys, and
Oh,
we'll
yeah,
cut it
better go,
off
yeah.
because Lee wants to go see his sister again.
Yeah.
So before we go, Drew, what do you have coming up?
We don't have any Ghost Squad Scotland tomorrow night, guys, so I might go live tomorrow night and do tarot or something.
Okay.
But apart from that, it'll be Friday for Ghost Squad again.
Okay. So Sherry, do you have anything coming up?
I was actually gonna do a show tomorrow. It was the meditation show.
Yeah,
I did say that. So you can watch Sister Drew. I probably won't be on till about 10, 11 o'clock. So even if Sister Drew's on,
that's fine. It was just because people usually watch Ghost Squad, so in case they were expecting that, no, you can do it. That's fine.
Well, I was going to do a meditation stream tomorrow. Then I was going to hope that at the end of the week, I was maybe going to try and do try and bring myself into doing a little investigation in my flat. Try and bring it out a little bit, you know, like try to be a bit brave. So I haven't since my nan and everything, so I've been a bit weary. But
well, look at the one we did, and your papa came through, so we'll be waiting.
But because she's not gone yet and she's still waiting to be buried, I'm a bit conscious about all that in a minute because she's still all up in the air waiting, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm a bit... But yeah.
You can decide at the time. But yeah, there's plenty of people live. Have you got anything coming up?
Yeah, well...
Me? So 3:30 tomorrow is Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Wednesday is
Yeah.
tomorrow. 3:30 I'll be on Danny's channel, 3:30 to like 5:30, and then at 6 o'clock we go live on my channel. And of course, tomorrow's Wednesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday videos are gonna be just crossover audio if you guys want to listen to them. It will be Spirit Box at 7, and of course, if you see anything, say anything. And then Saturday again, we have the fourth episode of Saving the World Saturday, Battling for the Universe. And then I have, I think it's 27, Sinister Sunday on Sunday, where we go to another fun place and I tell you the history and all about those.
That'd be cool.
Oh, and Saturday night at the, I'll do something live. I might do another investigation.
Somewhere in there, Christina, you got to get with me privately on our thing, the crossing.
Yes, you have to, do not in the group, but you can offset the group and send me a private message on WhatsApp and be like, okay, these are my times, and then we could get together. What day is good for you?
Well, Lee leaves on Wednesday morning, and he probably won't be back until maybe Sunday at like lunchtime around 12. So we've got
Okay,
that
so then
frame.
like Thursday night we could do the 9 o'clock.
We've got Stephanie on Thursday night, remember?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so Thursday at
11 p.m. my time.
yeah. So that
Okay,
would be
so
6
then
o'clock our time. Thursday with Stephanie.
okay.
And then.
So then Friday,
Maybe
because
Friday,
I
then.
have
You don't have anything Friday, do you? Apart from
Friday?
Sisters Go Squad Scotland with Chris, which is at like 10 past 2.
No, but I just need Mystical at 9 o'clock my time Friday.
Uncle Danny and I go live on his channel on a
How's
Friday
that?
as well. Then my
Okay,
channel.
so 9 o'clock. 9
Yeah.
o'clock. How am I gonna get a? Wait.
On WhatsApp.
9 o'clock.
On WhatsApp.
Well, around. We're gonna start at 8 because we're gonna do the whole thing. I'm going to accept your friend request on Facebook, and then we're gonna do a messenger chat.
Doesn't
Like
do
I did with Drew, and that's how we'll communicate.
Our messenger doesn't work. You still need to do it through WhatsApp.
Does it let you call through WhatsApp? I don't know.
Your messenger doesn't work, doesn't it? No. You need to do it. Yeah, WhatsApp. You can video chat. You can do
Oh, okay. So then we'll do it on WhatsApp. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay, so what am I doing? I'm watching you to see how you do it, so I can pick up things from you.
I'm gonna do it just like I did with Drew. First, I'm gonna walk through it. I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna save some spirits for you, and then you're gonna do it.
Send them over. Woo! It's not that scary, actually. It's nice.
It's really not. Drew was a champ at it.
Okay, and this is Friday.
Yeah.
Friday. Because you
Friday
said
at 9 o'clock.
Lee's gonna be gone, right? So
Yeah.
Friday's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Friday at 9 o'clock. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
8. We're gonna start 8. We'll go to like
So 8 o'clock.
9:30. So
You'd
keep
have
yourself
had
up
some
from
shows by
8
then with the
to
winter
9:30.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. We would. Sister Drew would have had her shows by then. So she.
Yeah,
would have
because
would have
it's
missed
my
out, yeah.
time, Eastern Standard Time. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, her time is my time because I'm in Tennessee, not Texas.
Yeah. Because you guys are five hours behind us, and Texas is 6 hours behind us, because that's what my read is. That's 6 hours behind.
Yeah.
Okay, we got it then. Alrighty. So then Thursday we've got Stephanie. Oh, Sherry. So we hadn't updated you yet. So I did the reschedule for Stephanie. Thursday, me and Drew just hadn't got with you yet because it was right before we came on
11
live
p.m.
when we were doing it. Yeah, so you're 11, my 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So is it the usual time on Thursday then? So 9 o'clock Thursday.
No,
and
Thursday
then,
we're doing it.
and then
That's cool.
and then the following
Thursday we're doing it
Tuesday,
at 11 o'clock because Stephanie wants it to be at night so that it's not so warm. So it'll be 11
so 11
yeah.
p.m. 11
Yeah.
p.m. All right.
Yes,
Yep.
11 p.m. Yes,
That's good.
yes, on Thursday, and then Tuesday we've got um, Eli again for part 2,
Oh,
and that's
yeah.
at the normal time.
That'd be good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so everybody, thank you for coming in. If you haven't hit that like and subscribe, please do so. We appreciate everybody coming in, staying, hanging with us, listening. And we love Christina to come on because she's just so friendly and bubbly and smiley. And
Great energy. I
Drew
love
and
people.
Cher, yeah, Drew and Cher, we
Yeah, she's
just
got a lot
all
of
just
energy.
all blend in. Yeah, we just all, oh look. Okay, and I won't make
I
the
gotta put
remark
my
I
hat
made
on
when
and
we were
be caramel-alicious here.
I won't make the remark about it since we were
You're going to the
backstage
races,
earlier.
guys. She's just not telling us.
I'm going to the races.
Yeah,
Yep.
to the races. All right, everybody, thanks for coming in.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Love a
Bye.
night.
Gonna end.